When we talk about resolution generally, raster first and foremost is the type of data that we have, because we have raster and vector, and raster deals with data that deals with grid and grid cell. And when we are looking at raster, there are things we determined, and those things we determined is one of them is spatial resolution. And when you look at spatial resolution, it have to do with the size of the smallest feature that is visible on that particular raster imagery. So when you talk about, you say the spatial resolution. So the smaller the size, just like the way we do on scale, the smaller the spatial resolution of a data set is. Like when I mean smaller, I mean when somebody says 2 cm, the better or the higher resolution it is, so it have a higher resolution. That is higher spatial resolution. So if you have a data set that has let's say 2 cm spatial resolution and the one that have 10 cm spatial resolution, then you realize that the one with 2 cm is better. Now this have to do with the size of the smallest, and then at the same time it have a direct link with the size. When the spatial resolution is higher, meaning you have 2 cm, the size become bigger. Now when you're talking about spectral resolution, you're talking about the number of wavelength it captures. So if you're talking about, for example, multispectral imagery like Sentinel-1, Sentinel-2, Landsat, so you are referring to the spatial resolution, spectral resolution. If you talk about MODIS, you're talking about 35 spectral resolution. So that is the number of wavelength it captured. Then when you're talking about temporal resolution, is how often the image is captured at the same area. Like you said, that in Landsat is about 16 days. So which of them is more frequent it is being captured. Like for example, MODIS capture the world twice in a day. So meaning that generally it have a higher spatial temporal resolution compared to Sentinel or Landsat. Then there are other geostationary satellites that covered 5 meters, that is 5 minutes to 15 minutes per day. So that means those ones have higher resolution when it comes to temporal. And when you talk about the radiometric resolution, you're talking about the sensor sensitivity to the energy in level. So we have bits. So you can be talking about different types of bits. You talk about 4-bit value, and then you talk about 16-bit value. So there are different of them. So you talk about spatial, you talk about radiometric, you talk about those ones. So these are how you get to know about different spatial resolution. Now the spatial resolution, the band combinations help us in terms of the energy it have. Like for example, if you look at Landsat 8 here, and you can see that if you count this one, this is the number of band, this is the number of wavelength, this is the wavelength, and this is the resolution. So if you look here, this is the resolution we are talking about here. We mean here the spatial resolution. You see that Landsat 8 have 30 meters, which is 1, 2, 3, 4. If you count this thing, this is 30, this is 60, this is 15, this is 10, and this is 100. Sorry. You see now, this is what the different spatial resolution of these spectral bands that they captured. So you can see here we have band 1 down to band 11. When you're talking about Landsat 8, you should know how many bands it have. And this helps us in the way they visualize. So if you look at Landsat 7, you can see that it have this number of bands, and this is the resolution. Then if you look at Landsat 4 and 5 thematic map, you see the number of spatial resolution and the number of spectral resolution. Then if you talk about Landsat 321, then you talk about the spatial resolution here, and you talk about the spectral number of bands that is captured. Now these are different bands that is captured, and the combination helps us when you talk about it, gives us the the way it is being combined, which this one particularly we are going to be talking about it later. And yeah, so we don't need to dwell much on it, but we're going to be talking about all these ones as related to the how the band are being combined and how will you be able to see the imagery to what it is. But generally, I just want you to understand what I mean by spatial, spectral, temporal, and radiometric resolution, and how is it applied on the imagery. Now, we'll be talking about different resolution, but now we are going to be talking about DEM. So if you talk about DEM, DEM spatial resolution, you're talking about digital elevation model and what is their resolution. Yeah, so there are different spatial resolution as related to digital elevation model. Now, some them have higher and some have lower. And when you're talking about them, there are some of them that have 10 meters resolution. There are some of them that have 30 meters resolution. So this is typically how you can see there are different other depths that have different resolution. Like you have, when you talk about the accuracy, if you talk about the global DEM here, we have the global DEM that has about 12.5, and then we have the one that have 30 and we have the one that have 90. Now there are different resolution. There are some of them that have 5 depending on how you want it. Like these are some of the ladder that you can get, and then these are different them that you can get. Now if you want to download them, we have some them that you can download, like the OpenDEM. Now this is one of the free websites you can download, OpenDEM. But now when you look at this, as you can see on the screen here, you can see that's SRTM3 covered between this range, and it is on public domain with 3 arc centimeter, with 3 arc seconds. This SRTM1 have its own. This if you go down, you can see SIGA here. They are of diverse. Then if you look down, you see different other projects or other this thing you can see. This is European DEM that have 2 arc seconds, 1 second. This one have 30 meters. This one have 1 meters. And this you can see that some of them are country based and some of them are global based. Now assuming you needed the elevation model, so you can see that you can come up here and you can see SRTM here. You can see other type of data you can download here. So you can see here you can download SRTM as contour, and these are also links that you can download free digital elevation model. Now there are different ways you can get your DEM. You can download them by having them. Let's say you have a LiDAR, you can use it to create them, or you have the already one, you can get them down like that. So if you also go to DIVA GIS, and then you can also see that when you're on DIVA GIS here, if you go down here, you can see this is the data they have here, and you can see they have here administrative boundary, inland water, road, railway, elevation. When you go to elevation, they have SRTM, which have 30 seconds, and it is included data, and then you can see the difference there. They also have this type of data. They have population data, climate data monthly from World Climate. They have also other data. So you see here, if you read through here, you see different data they have and the resolution of the data they have. Like assuming that you want to download, let's say Rwanda. So you can go to Rwanda, and then when you get here, and then you can see a different type of data they have. Assuming you are talking about elevation, then you go to elevation here, and you should be able to. So I'm going to click on elevation here, and then I'm going to show you. If you see here, you see now that you have elevation, and you see mass by country. And if you open here, you can download this as GeoTIFF here. So if I go ahead and download this, then I should be able to have the Rwanda elevation data. But the difference is, like I said, is that you can see the size here, very small. So if you have this kind of size of data, you will now realize that this does not really count well, because the elevation size, see here, imagine the entire Rwanda elevation is having 68 kilobytes. So that is not really something you can see that it is big. So on this note, we might go straight to the one I want us to use today, so which is Open Topography, and that's the word we are going to be using, and that's where Open Topography is where we're going to be using. So, and that's where most the data we are going to be working on, and that's where we are going to be working, downloading digital elevation model for different analysis we are going to be doing, ranging from the slope, hill shade, contour, and rest of them. Now in Open Topography here, it have a high resolution topography data and tools. Then if you come down here, you can see here that you can have find data map. You go here and you should be able to see the global base map. Under here, you can see, if you click on here, hill shade, hybrid, satellite, so you can change it the way you want it to be seen here. Then if you go down here, you can see here that you can go through here. If you want to go to Rwanda, you can use the base map now to see Rwanda here. And when you go straight to Rwanda here, you can see Rwanda that we have here. You can click on this to select the region you want to select. If you only want to download Kigali City, you can go ahead and download Kigali City. Now remember, there are some of the countries, their sizes, like if you want to download the entire Africa, you can see here. You see that this data, you can see the different data that are available here once you drag on it. So you see the different data that are available, and some of them might be big for you to download them once. So like you need to check those things. So for here, I only want to go to Rwanda and I want to download the data of Rwanda. So in that way, I have to click here to make sure that I select this region, and I have to click in such a way that it will cover entire Rwanda. So you can see this covering entire Rwanda here. So this covers Rwanda, and it's going to read, and you can see the data that are available. You see this one here, NASA DEM. You see global bathymetry ALOS. Now this is another place you can see this ALOS data that was captured between 2006 and 2011 by Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency, JAXA. So you can see different data. So you read here, you know more about the metadata. So these are what you need to know. Then this is here, if you open here, you can see SROTM, which is Shuttle Radar Topography Mission, which here you can read the data. This was captured when it was captured by February 2000 and rest of them. So you can see the date of capture. This is SROTM. Then you can also see here that we have this ALOS. You also see here that we have NASA DEM. You read more about it. Then, but what I want us to look at is, we want to look at Copernicus Global Digital Elevation Model. So if you open it, you see that we have two different types of data here, and you can read the date where they are captured and everything that have to do with this particular data. And if you go down here, you can see that we have Copernicus of 90 meters data, and we have Copernicus of 30 meters data. So for me, I'll be going to 30 meters data. So when I click on the 30 meters data, and this is the overview of the data I want to download, so I can read more about it, and I have selected the area that I needed to go ahead and download data. And you can see here the way I selected it. So I want to download the elevation that have to do with Rwanda. And when I go down here, you see here, what format do I want to download it? I need it as GeoTIFF. Now, GeoTIFF means it is geographically a tagged image, meaning that I don't need to georeference it. So everything about it has been geographically tagged. So what type is this showing? You can see it here. How do I want it to display? Assuming I need to download the hill shade, also the aspect of color shade, I can go ahead and check this, and then this is going to be downloaded for me. And here, you don't need to sign in. All you just need is your email, so that when you submit and when it finishes processing, you should be able to receive a notification that, oh, the data is completed. So once I select the area of interest, I can also change it by clicking here. Whichever way I want it, I can go ahead and do that. But I just wanted to download the one that covers entire Rwanda. And on this, I'm going to click on submit. Now when I submit this, then you can see here that it's telling me thank you for the submission with the job title here. Now there are two things that are involved. You need to wait here or you check your email. So any of them works perfectly. So if you check your email, and you probably see that it will notify you once the data has been done, once the data has is ready. So if not, if you just stays on your email like this, so you should be able to see once the data is completed, you will have a notification on your email telling you that the job or the this thing is complete. Now if you look here, it shows you how you can reference the data. As you can see here, this is the DOI, and you can see here that it says COP3, which is Copernicus 30, is also already. This is the time I submitted. This one is completed. It takes 31 seconds and is done. Then if you go down here, you can see that you have 221.8 MB of entire Rwanda. If you look at what I showed you earlier, you see now because of the spatial resolution, you can see the data size. This is 68, but now we have this, and that's why I say the spatial resolution have a direct relationship with the size of the data. So what happens if you also go to your email, you will realize that if I refresh this now, so you will realize that the data or this particular job completed has been notified on my email that the job is complete. So you can see here telling me that this particular data or what I did is completed. So I can click on this to download it, or you can see here, or since I'm still here, I can go ahead here and then click on here, click on this link, and that's going to start downloading for me. So it is going to download the Rwanda elevation as I instructed for me. So this is a step-by-step on how you can download data from topography data, and this is just like where you can go ahead and load the data and be able to use them to make analysis of your choice. So this is it.